All right, well, just like that, welcome to Pepsi Stadium on the campus of North Greenville University. We apologize for starting just a couple seconds late. We were not told, but there was no national anthem, no nothing. These guys just decided to pick up and go just like that, I guess, to beat the weather. So here we are. Obviously, wind will be a huge factor today. If we're looking from where the camera is, it's mostly blowing from the near side to the far side. So think of behind the camera blowing toward the front of the camera. So as you can see, the flag in the corner, definitely going to be a factor today. But we'll see what happens. We're a minute in, and this is a huge matchup between these two teams. North Greenville currently tied for the lead in the conference standings, a 6-0 record in conference play. They are tied for the lead with UNC Pembroke, also 6-0. Mount Olive right behind in second place, a 5-0 conference record. So it's unfortunate that weather could play a factor. Hopefully it doesn't, but whenever you see a marquee matchup like this, you don't want weather to be a factor, but we'll see what happens. For North Greenville, the Crusaders come in red hot. 4 consecutive shutouts, a 2-0 win against Chowan, a 2-0 win against Lees-McRae, a 3-0 win at Francis Marion, and a 2-0 win at Converse. So can't get much hotter than that. For Mount Olive, they are also playing very well, a 6-game winning streak. They started off the season 1-3, but since then have been playing very, very well since starting conference play. They have not posted a shutout since September 17th. Against Erskine. That was a 4-0 win. That was followed by a 5-1 win at Francis Marion, then a 3-2 win at Southern Wesleyan, and their last game on the 27th, a 3-1 win against Barton at home. So both teams coming in with a lot of momentum. That shutout streak for North Greenville definitely at stake here today. But as you can see, North Greenville, the aggressors early on, it stayed on the North Greenville attacking side of the field. See if we can get a chance to go over starting lineups real quick. Yeah, again, apologize for not being ready. Was expecting a national anthem and the starting lineups on the field, and they just decided to pick up and go to beat the weather. That's my guess. That's what I'm assuming. As Mount Olive will take over possession, gets it to the North Greenville side of the field for the first time. But North Greenville takes it right back. Ansley Robinson. Good defense by her. Not currently raining. I was out there a little bit earlier, about an hour ago, and it looked like it was starting to. There was definitely some mist and a lot of wind, but luckily it went away after a few minutes. But I will say, once the rain starts, it is not predicted to stop for quite a while. So I think the men are definitely going to have to deal with it. Currently, the weather is showing that it's supposed to start around 1 or 2 o'clock. So the women might be able to stay dry, but I don't think that will be the case for the men, but we'll see. Samantha Montgomery with the kick past midfield. So you can hear that wind a little bit in the microphone. Not too bad. Again, from where our camera is, it's blowing the other way. That little bit of hissing you can hear in the background is actually the trees on the other side of the field blowing. So definitely going to be a factor. But how much of a factor it's going to be is anyone's guess right now. I was taking a look at for those of you who might not know, the football field is on the other side of Pepsi Stadium. Well, on this side of the camera, if you're looking back, that way is the football field. I was taking a look at the flags on top of the goalposts, and it really was kind of acting more of like a crosswind. At times it was definitely blowing toward the soccer field, but at times it would be blowing toward the left side, and then other times, seconds later, it would be blowing towards the right side. So I'm assuming that that's going to be the same case for Pepsi Stadium. You'll have times where it's blowing toward the left side and other times where it's blowing toward the right side. I think it's favoring more of the left side. So right now, I think for the most part, Mount Olive will be kicking into the wind for most of the match, for most of the half at least. They'll switch sides after halftime. So North Greenville will have to deal with that as well. But luckily, if the rain does become a factor, obviously artificial turf here at Pepsi Stadium, you'll still see a few people sliding around every now and then, but definitely not as much of an issue as you would have on a natural grass field. North Greenville trying to hang on to possession, unable to do so. Mount Olive might have a shot opportunity here. Believe they get one off. It's quickly blocked, and Samantha Montgomery will collect it. I think I made a mistake. I said good afternoon. It's still morning here. Just past 11 o'clock a.m. Pretty dreary day overall, predictably so. Saw just a little stripe of blue sky when I was setting up the camera and all the equipment earlier, but that has definitely since gone away. It's purely overcast with some fast-moving clouds. Mount Olive, that ball batted away by the Crusaders, trying to keep it in bounds. They do, and here we go. I believe that's Romy Contreras trying to keep it in bounds. She's going to have an opportunity. Can she find company? She's tripped up, goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a corner kick. So Molly Platt with the early corner kick. And here we go. Attempted a header, couldn't quite get her head on it. That'll be booted out of bounds by the Trojans. Throw in by Mount Olive. Blocked by her own player. Gets it past midfield. And now North Greenville takes over possession just for the moment. Oh, he gets away there. And can't keep it in bounds. It'll go back to the Trojans. I know we're several minutes in, but let's go over starting lineups real quick. For Mount Olive, the goalkeeper is the senior from Stony Point, New York, number 1, Nicole Solosito. That one kicked away by the Crusaders. They take possession back. Number 2, McKenna Copley, junior from Manheim, Pennsylvania. Number 3, Delia Allwood from Piscataway, New Jersey, sophomore. Number 5, Jaslyn Gott, a defender from Swartz Creek, Michigan. Forward number 6, I have to look up the pronunciation for that one. Malwyn Geifus from Saint-Germain-de-Lagrange, France. Then number 9, Olivia Womack, a midfielder from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Number 10, Amanda McLeod, a junior from Plainfield, New Jersey. Number 11, Sarah Brechlin, a defender from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Number 14, Scarlett Espinoza, a defender from East Meadow, New York. Number 16, Samantha Hamrick, a defender from Collingswood, New Jersey. And last but not least, a forward, number 31, Tiana Hill from Durham, North Carolina. So that's the starting lineup for the Trojans, and that's currently the 11 on the field, as there have been no substitutions yet. For the Crusaders, and at goalkeeper, once again, is Samantha Montgomery, number 37. Number 2, Elaney Sprinkle, junior from Spartanburg, South Carolina. As Mount Olive has the goal kick, or excuse me, the corner kick, Samantha Montgomery got a glove on it, stays with the Trojans for now. But it Mount Olive will be able to hang on to it. No whistle, still playing. Might be able to get a shot off here, and that she does, and it's a save. That was Geifus with the shot. So anyway, for the Crusaders, Samantha Montgomery at goalkeeper, defender number 2, Elaney Sprinkle. And then another defender, number 9, Isabella Guyerich, a freshman from Estero, Florida. Followed by number 13, Aubrey Kramer, a midfielder, freshman from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Number 14, the head coach's daughter, Ansley Robinson, defender from Greer, South Carolina, the defending Conference Carolina's defensive player of the week. So congratulations to her. Forward from Rancho Cucamonga, California, number 16, Romy Contreras. Defender, number 20, Molly Platt from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. She's a junior. As we have a goal for the Crusaders. So I believe that's Romy Contreras. Just mentioned her name. And that is indeed her. Romy is North Greenville's biggest threat. She was tied for the team lead in goals coming in with 3. So that will be her 4th, as well, didn't get too much of a replay there, but good enough. So pretty much an uncontested shot. So her 4th goal of the season. She does have 1 assist as well. So that takes over the team lead. So we're talking about the defender, Molly Platt, number 20, junior from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Midfielder, number 25, Natalie Johnson from Gainesville, Florida. She's a graduate student. Number 27, Danny Avalar, a forward graduate student from Pearl, Mississippi. 29, Kylie McElravy, freshman from Lexington, South Carolina. And last but not least, midfielder from Fate, Texas, number 31, Alexa Fipe. So those are the starting lineups. Again, apologize for getting those in so late, almost 15 minutes into the match already. But nevertheless, North Greenville with the early lead. As we get the throw in by the Crusaders. Good one as it stayed. You see, that's that wind right there. Kept it inbounds. We'll have another throw in. Alexa Fight was the nearest one to the ball, but it will not be her. Looks like it's going to be Elaney Sprinkle throwing it in. And by the way, this is an auto-tracking camera. So it's not that the camera operators are paying attention. Sometimes the auto-tracking gets away from the ball a little bit once it goes out of bounds, as that one is collected by the Trojans. Now this one is this one does have a camera operator. Obviously, having some technical issues with the frame rate. We'll try to get that fixed at the half. Molly Platt with the ball. As North Greenville takes possession back over. Alexa Fight now with it. Gets it past midfield. Kicks it over to the far side. Still very early in this one, and kind of figured that whoever started the match on this side of the field was going to have a little bit more of an advantage. So you see the corner flag there, still blowing toward the far side of the field, but a little bit towards the right from where you're looking. So that one heads out, goes back to North Greenville. Back to Molly Platt. And got a shot off, but saved. So another shot for North Greenville. That one a little bit easier for us as a save. Mount Olive is a high-scoring offense coming in. They were second in the conference in goals scored with 28. And they've only allowed 14 for North Greenville. 15 total goals for the season, 10 allowed. So not as much of a difference there, but obviously North Greenville with the early advantage. As Mount Olive is trying to create an opportunity there, batted away by the Crusaders. And Fight able to keep it in play. Good speed there by Mount Olive. Olivia Womack that was able to catch up to that and boot it away to kind of let the Mount Olive defense catch up. Tiana Hill was able to keep it in play there. She is a threat for the Trojans. Their two biggest threats are Dalia Allwood, number 3. She leads the team with 7 goals scored this season. She does have 2 assists as well. And then second on the team is number 31, Tiana Hill, with 5 goals and 3 assists. Third is Emily Hine, number 7, with 4 goals scored for the season. I mentioned North Greenville. Romy Contreras, number 16, now with that goal early on, leads the team with 4 goals scored this season. Alexa Fight, second on the team with 3 goals scored. Both of them do have 1 assist on the season as well. And from there, 3 Crusaders tied for third in goals scored. Elaney Sprinkle, number 2. Danny Avalar, number 27, and Julia Hayes, number 19, all have 2 goals each. As we get a free kick for the Trojans, that one going to sail over the goal. So a shot there, but a little too high there. That was number 6, Mailwin Geifus, who has 3 goals for the season. So we'll get the goal kick from Samantha Montgomery. She gets it off. Over to Molly Platt with the header. And some contact there. And it's going to go against the Crusaders. Off number 9, Isabella Guyrich. So this is going to be another free kick for the Trojans. It was number 2, McKenna Copley, that was fouled. Not a whole lot of contact there, but just enough to draw the foul. Jocelyn Gott takes the free kick. Easy stop for Samantha Montgomery. Tried to, I believe that'll go down as a shot. Tried to come out of the goal just a little bit to prevent a cross. Samantha Montgomery, a true freshman, but she has had a great season thus far. Mentioned during the last home broadcast, but you know, you look at 10 goals allowed for the Crusaders on the year, and you think, you know, maybe it's not that great. But when you look at the fact that they've had 4 consecutive shutouts, and most of those goals came very early in the season against very good competition. After a 1-1 tie at Lander, that was followed by a 4-1 loss at North Georgia, and the Nighthawks of North Georgia pretty consistently have a very good team. And then the home opener was a 4-0 loss against Catawba, and they were nationally ranked. So that was a pretty tough one coming in, and unfortunately that one just kind of got away from NGU. But since then, just 1 goal allowed since entering conference play. I mentioned that North Greenville is a perfect 6-0 in conference play. The only goal allowed was in a 3-1 victory at Southern Wesleyan. So 5 of those 6 conference matchups were shutouts. So very impressive to say the least. And Montgomery has played every minute at goalkeeper, and she was replacing Lizzie Luzzy, who is still on the team. She was 3rd team all-conference last year, so you know, I was kind of surprised to see it early on, but boy, you see how well she's played, and you understand why. And Lizzie, for those of you who may be concerned that, you know, maybe she's upset, she is a team player all the way. She has no issue with it. She's the first one yelling, encouraging the team from the bench. She is a Crusader through and through, so she has great spirits about it. But it's definitely good to know. It's very good feeling for head coach Andy Robinson to know that should something happen to his starting goalkeeper, you have a more than capable backup. Mount Olive trying to keep it in play. They do. Meanwhile, for Mount Olive, their goalkeeper, number 1, Nicole Solocito, has played the majority of the minutes, 802 minutes and 49 seconds to be exact coming into this one. Kaylee Bruni, number 00, has gotten some time played at goalkeeper as well, 97 minutes, just over 97 minutes. $14 total goals allowed between those two. 12 by Solocito and 2 by Bruni. Averaging just 1.4 goals allowed per match. For North Greenville, it's 1.11. So Crusaders take over possession. Taking their time with it. Fight with it. Contact there, no foul. Tried to get it through, almost did, but lost her footing there and goes back to the Trojans. Gets it on the far side of the field. Clayod had it for a moment. Now goes back to North Greenville. Mount Olive just really struggling to hang on to the ball. They've been getting possession on their side of the field, but really just been kind of struggling to get it over past midfield. And when they do, North Greenville's typically been able to kind of get it away from them. such a good defense by this Crusader team. Again, Ansley Robinson did take the defending, or she is the defending Conference Carolina's Defensive Player of the Week. It's the first weekly award won by a Crusader this season. Mount Olive takes back over. Just under 20 minutes remaining in this first half of a very busy day. We obviously have soccer. I believe the foul is going to be called on Jada Patrick. So free kick for the Trojans. Both teams fighting for the ball. For both teams, it's been pretty consistent in the first half this season. North Greenville has scored a total of 7 goals in the first half, 8 in the second. For Mount Olive, 15 total goals in the first half and 13 in the second. But for North Greenville, something that really stands out, if you're going to score on the Crusaders, you should probably do it in the first half. You should probably be aggressive early on. 7 goals allowed by the Crusaders in the first half. Just 3 allowed all season in the second half. That is an impressive number. For Mount Olive, their defense typically does improve throughout the match. 8 goals allowed in the first half, 6 allowed in the second half. Looks like we'll have a goal kick for the Trojans. I believe it is number 10, Amanda McLeod. And it was there. I believe it was last touched by a Crusader. It was I believe that's Molly Platt that tried to keep it in. She couldn't quite do so. And actually, no, they said it wasn't touched by a Crusader, and by the time she got to it, it was already out of bounds. So it'll be a goal kick for Montgomery. Crusaders can't quite stay in possession of it as you hear that wind starting to pick up. The remains of Hurricane Ian getting closer and closer to Tigerville. Definitely so far, the effects not as bad as it was predicted to be initially. This game was originally scheduled for tomorrow. It was moved up a day early because it was thought at the time that the weather would not be as bad today. However, they did decide to keep both games today to kind of get it over with so that Mount Olive could head back home before it starts to take effect up there. I believe we have our first sub of the match. But anyway, yeah, busy day. Obviously, both soccer matches taking place today, but also we have what should be a very competitive women's volleyball match tonight at 5 o'clock. So we have a throw in. Followed by another throw in. And that's going to head out of bounds for a goal kick. Solocito with the short one. Meanwhile, here comes Romy Contreras. She's able to get it away from the Trojans. Almost had an opportunity to get off another shot. Couldn't do so, but Mount Olive decides to just clear it, kicks it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for NGU. believe that was an attempt at a shot, but way over the goal. So that'll be another goal kick for Mount Olive. Just under 15 minutes remaining in the opening half of a busy day here at North Greenville University. So far we've had 2 shots each. So far for Mount Olive, Geifus and Womack with those 2 shots. Womack's shot was on goal and saved by Montgomery. For North Greenville, 2 shots as well. Aubrey Kramer with the shot. That one was on goal. And Romy Contreras, her shot obviously on goal as it resulted in a goal. So that last ball that went out of bounds did not count as a shot. So it must have been thought of as a cross opportunity that ended up going out of bounds. And here come the Crusaders. They're onside, trying to get the cross, an attempt at a header. Couldn't quite get there. North Greenville hangs on to it, but now it goes to Mount Olive, and they'll just kick it out of bounds. Let that defense reset. I've had a couple substitutions so far. Alicia Lamb, Jada Patrick, and Kayla Cruz have entered the game as subs for Mount Olive. Gabby Marshall and Karen Berry have entered as subs as well. And North Greenville, that shot blocked. Another shot blocked. And now an attempt at a pass. That one headed away. And I think that was another shot there that ends up wide right. So a good overall attack by the Crusaders. They come up empty that time, but I believe that'll be a couple shots there. They did give Guy Rich a shot. That one heads out of bounds. It'll be a Mount Olive goal kick. Solocito with those sunglasses. Don't know if she needs them much for the sun, but if that rain comes, those will definitely come in handy. Olive trying to hang on to possession. That North Greenville defense able to come through again. And they'll clear that ball, get it past midfield. Mount Olive will take over again. Good defense there. It's going to be a free kick. Nice job by Guy Rich to wrestle that ball away. I believe that was a delayed call. They were letting the play take place, and then once it got away from NGU, they then blew the whistle. So a free kick by Sprinkle. And opportunity that's batted away by Mount Olive. Throw in by the Crusaders. Got it right there in the corner, gets away, and it's going to be a goal kick. Heads out of bounds. It's going to be a corner kick. We start to close in on this first half. Looks like it'll be Molly Platt to take it. Here it comes, and it's going to head out of bounds. So goal kick for the Trojans. So we have just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Mount Olive moving the ball well. Gets a shot off. It's going to be blocked. But they're going to get another one off over the goal. Close one for the Trojans, but they come up empty. Saw that Tiana Hill was one of the Trojans to get a shot off there, the one that was blocked. Montgomery with the goal kick. It'll Mount Olive trying to take possession back, but North Greenville tried to get it near midfield. Great move by Alexa Fight. Goes back to Mount Olive. Back with you now, just under 5 minutes remain. Trojans hang on to it. Had a substitution there. And cannot keep it in bounds, so it'll go back to Montgomery for a goal kick. One of those subs was Addison Dangler for, well, I was reading it. Addison Dangler for Tiana Hill. Mount Olive's latest sub was Riley Baker in for Amanda McLeod. Trojans get a shot off, and it must have been batted away. I didn't see it hit anybody, but all of a sudden the ball just kept going on to the right. Not sure if that'll go down as a shot or not, but nevertheless, Montgomery was able to easily get to it. So she boots it away. And that one's going to be kicked out of bounds by Mount Olive. Trojans have done that a lot. They've put a lot of faith in their defense to just knock it out of bounds, to be able to reset. It's worked well for the most part. Meanwhile, North Greenville gets it into the box, but it's batted away. Past midfield now. Mount Olive trying to take possession of it. They'll have it for now. And a shot over Montgomery off the post, and it's going to head out of bounds. Boy, a close one there by Mount Olive. But they come up empty again. That one was right off the left post. It was last off of a Trojan, so it will be a North Greenville goal kick. We'll see it again right here. Great shot right in between two Crusaders, just couldn't quite get it in there. And then another shot that goes wide left. Mount Olive, North Greenville not out of trouble yet. Mount Olive still trying to put this possession together. It'll go out of bounds, and looks like it's going to go to North Greenville. Crusaders scored early in this one, but since then, Mount Olive has settled in. Initially, North Greenville was really had all the possession very early on, but since then, Mount Olive has been able to put together a good attack. I think if there was a time of possession kept up with in college soccer, North Greenville would definitely have the majority of the minutes with the ball, but Mount Olive has made the most of it lately, as they might get another one off. They do. It's blocked. So we have 1 minute remaining in this first half. North Greenville, I think, is going to be happy if they can hang on to a 1-0 lead. They're in any hurry to try to put another possession together right now. They're just trying to hang on here and keep Mount Olive off the board. 30 seconds. Romy Contreras, normally an offensive player, really playing more defense right now. And North Greenville, a good job there. Just less than 20 seconds. Mount Olive, if they're going to get another shot off, it needs to be right now, as the whistle does blow. And oh. And get the final free kick off at the last second, and that will expire time. So the North Greenville crowd not happy with that one, but it actually might have been a break for the Crusaders. It's Mount Olive. All right, we'll take a halftime break. We'll be back with you in a little bit. North Greenville leads at 1-0. North Greenville leads it 1-0 as you see the stats on the screen for the first half. Mount Olive actually did lead the half in total shots with 5. Obviously, both teams ended up with 2 corner kicks, and North Greenville leads slightly in saves, 3-2. So pretty interesting first half. As we mentioned, North Greenville really dominated possession early on and eventually was able to find the back of the net with Romy Contreras' unassisted goal, her 3rd goal of the season. But Mount Olive really kind of ended that half with the momentum. They were getting off the majority of shots late in the half. And they had a couple of really good opportunities, hit the left side of the post. And one of them couldn't quite get in the goal, but definitely expect them to continue to be aggressive. Now, it's definitely going to be interesting to see if this change of sides is going to have any impact on either of these teams. It's definitely the tale of 2 sides of the field right now. When you're facing one side, facing the wind versus the other. Right now, Mount Olive will be facing a little bit more of the wind. It's not blowing right in their face, blowing really more from behind where our camera is, so from the near side to the far side, but it's also blowing a little bit toward the Mount Olive side of the field from the left side. So definitely going to be interesting to see if the Trojans can find the back of the net, but again, that is the only time that a goal was scored was on the goal to our left, which is facing the wind. So we'll see if Mount Olive can get that going, but meanwhile, North Greenville will take possession to start the second half. And that one heads out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Crusaders. Still no rain as of yet. Romy Contreras with the ball, tried to find a breakthrough there. Nice try, but good job by Solocita to put a stop to that. So we'll see what the Trojans can do. Wind starting to pick up again. Kicked away by the Crusaders, goes out of bounds, and will stay with Mount Olive. Karen Berry had that throw in. I believe it went out of bounds again. Yep, throw in by NGU this time. Back out of bounds. Stays with the Crusaders. No, it doesn't. Goes to Mount Olive. Throw in again by Karen Berry. Good defense by the Crusaders. North Greenville being patient with the ball. Gets it back to Samantha Montgomery. Now Mount Olive trying to create an opportunity and got a shot off, but it's going to be high. So as predicted, Mount Olive continues to be aggressive. They do get the first shot off in the second half. I believe that's their third shot that's gone above the net. definitely hear that wind picking up again. Still no rain, but it's not too far off from being an issue here at Pepsi Stadium. Should be more of a factor during the men's game, which is scheduled to kick off at right around 1:30. That's another big matchup between those two. North Greenville men's team was nationally ranked, got up to 18th in the country, but they have dropped their last two matches. So they are definitely looking to get back on track. And Mount Olive men's team having a very good year, as they're used to. Throw in by the Crusaders. And Aubrey Kramer thought she was fouled, but the foul is called on NGU. Crowd does not like it. It's going to be number 5, Jaslyn Gott, with the free kick.
Hey, how much are they paying y'all?
Gott with the kick over to the corner. Mount Olive trying to get a shot off. An attempt at a header, can't quite get to it. North Greenville trying to kick it away, but Trojans hanging on to it. Good job there. And now across, Samantha Montgomery comes up and puts a stop to it. So out of bounds on the Crusaders, goes back to Mount Olive. Just under 40 minutes remain in the second half. Throw in by the Crusaders. That we're going to have a goal kick here. Out of bounds yet again. Goes back to the Trojans. Just not much going on right now. Out of bounds yet again. Mentioned it early on, but we'll mention it again real quick. Both teams pretty even as far as goals in each half go. Mount Olive has scored a total of 13 goals in the second half compared to their 15 in the first half. North Greenville has scored 8 goals total this season in the second half compared to their 7 in the first half. But again, the stat that really stands out is the fact that North Greenville has only allowed 3 goals this season in the second half. So So the defense for North Greenville definitely steps up when it matters most. Romy Contreras, that ball knocked away. The Trojans able to take possession back. Good defense. Sprinkle. Olive gets it into the box. A header to keep it. And a shot blocked. I believe that was McKenna Copley that got that off. Now Alexa Fight takes it away. And now kicked out of bounds by the Trojans. Gabby Marshall was the one that knocked it out of bounds. And now Crusaders make a mistake. They hit it out of bounds, and it goes back to the Trojans. Throw in by NGU. And now a shot by, I believe that was Contreras. Easily saved.
Start red, get the ball.
Now Mount Olive moving it down the field. They get a shot off, and it's deflected off of Montgomery. It's going to be a corner kick for the Trojans. A little slow to get up. So here comes the corner. That one far from the goal. It's going to head out of bounds and go back to North Greenville. That was Addison Dangler that got the shot there. Good save by Samantha Montgomery. Thrown back in by NGU, but Mount Olive quickly takes it back. Another shot. It's going to be wide right. So Mount Olive continuing to put up the shots. So far, they have still not been able to get that equalizer. But you wonder how long this North Greenville defense is going to be able to hang on. They've gotten some good looks. So we're going to have a sub. Like Aubrey Kramer heading off the field. believe that's Jada Patrick that came in. Mount Olive heard it from the crowd, some contact, but no whistle blown. And that was indeed Aubrey Kramer out and Jada Patrick in. So that was the latest sub. And Montgomery comes out again. No shot there, but good defense once again by Samantha Montgomery. She gets it past midfield, right to a Trojan. A little bit of a miscommunication there, heads out of bounds. Just trying to give it to Olivia Womack, but as she kicked it, Womack turned and headed the other way. Throw in for NGU. Right to the Trojans. Heads back out of bounds, stays with Mount Olive. Again. Just under the 30-minute mark. North Greenville trying to hang on. The defense has stepped up so far. So they are trying to post their 5th consecutive shutout. This is a good Mount Olive offense. So that would be truly an accomplishment. Match is perhaps North Greenville's biggest test yet in conference play, at least. Had some tough matches to start the season, including a nationally ranked Catawba team. So that kick by Montgomery heads out of bounds. North Greenville, it just seems like they've been struggling with their possessions a little bit in this half and just kind of not able to put one together. Even the goal kicks and throw-ins are pretty much heading right back to the Trojans. You wonder if that win could be playing a factor, as Mount Olive was struggling with that early on when they were on that side of the field. And a foul called. And it's going to be on the Trojans. Alexa Fight was the one that got fouled. Looks like it was Delia Allwood that was charged with the foul. That was Mount Olive's second foul of the match. North Greenville's had a total of 5. No cards, thus far at least. Ball heads out of bounds, stays with Mount Olive. They're trying to hurry this one up, trying to catch the North Greenville defense off guard, but that one off the side of the net for another goal kick. Once again, goes to Mount Olive. here come the Crusaders. They have numbers temporarily. Montgomery ends up with it. She's going to get it past midfield. Back to Mount Olive. Knocked away by the Crusaders. Closing in on 25 minutes remaining in this one. North Greenville just 3 goals allowed in the second half all season long. An impressive number that they're trying to uphold here. But so far, Mount Olive have definitely been the aggressors in this half. You wonder how much of that is North Greenville playing conservative and how much of that is just Mount Olive turning up the heat. Good ball there. A shot blocked. And I think they called a handball. Riley Baker was the one that got the shot off. It was blocked, but a handball is called.
You need to get your boy. These calls are horrible.
So a free kick not far out of the box. This is a great opportunity for the Trojans.
You need to blow the whistle on the other side of that line down there.
So here comes the free kick.
Hey!
And it's going to be stopped by Montgomery. Can they get another one off? And no, tripped up, contact off the post, the crossbar, and it's going to be out of bounds. Oh my goodness. But meanwhile, the clock is going to stop. We have a Trojan down. We'll see if we can get a replay of that whole sequence there. Here we go, the free kick. Saved by Montgomery there, then possibly another shot there. Trojans did a good job of keeping it in bounds, a block shot right there. And then 17 able to get the final one off the crossbar, and then the header that finds the left side, ended up wide left of the net. Boy, North Greenville escaped that one. So it looks like they're going to give some time for the injured Trojan. So as you see, head coach Andy Robinson just trying to light a fire under his team. Just haven't been able to get anything going offensively in this second half. It's been all Mount Olive with the exception of, I believe, one shot. I think North Greenville did get a shot off earlier in the half. But other than that, it's been purely Mount Olive in the second half. "13 shots now for Mount Olive. I think 5 of those were right there. In fact, the live stats are actually still catching up there, trying to figure out where these shots went. So far, they've put 3 in. I think there was a total of 5. But anyway, looking at the shot takers, Womack for Mount Olive leads the team with 3 total shots, with 1 of those on goal. Espinoza, Allwood, and Copley all have 2 shots each. For North Greenville, Romy Contreras leads the team with 2 shots. And then a 4-way tie for second on the team with 1 shot each. Elaney Sprinkle, Isabella Guyerich, Aubrey Kramer, and Alexa Fight. The good news for North Greenville, all but 1 was on goal. Guyerich with the only shot not to be on goal. Meanwhile, we'll have a Crusader sub. So goal kick by Samantha Montgomery. We'll see if that pep talk by Andy Robinson can get this Crusader offense going. It's been the midfield that just really haven't been able to keep the possession going, and you see it right there. Just kicked a little bit too far, and it goes back to Mount Olive, but now they do the same. And out on the Crusaders, goes back to Mount Olive. The sub for the Crusaders was Aubrey Kramer in, Isabella Guyerich out. I don't see a sub for Mount Olive, so I guess whoever the injured player was must have stayed in. So I think she just needed a moment to collect herself there. See what the Trojans can do here. An attempt at a cross that's blocked. That one out of bounds, so another goal kick for the Crusaders. Boy, NGU has really playing with fire right now in the second half. So far, they have been able to hold on to the lead, but just barely. That huge opportunity for Mount Olive. Romy Contreras trying to catch up to that ball. Actually, I don't believe that was Romy Contreras trying to. It might have been Fight. Yeah, that was Alexa Fight that caught up with the ball and was able to keep the possession for the Crusaders. McElravy with the throw in there. Goes right back to Mount Olive. So now the Trojans hang on to possession. They'll take their time with it. Got to think that frustration is starting to become a factor for Mount Olive. They've had so many chances in the second half especially. But really, they've had the momentum since the end of the first half, the last 10 minutes or so. so far have not been able to find the back of the net. North Greenville sub. We'll find out who it is in just a moment. That was Julia Hayes in for Danny Avalar. Another throw in for the Trojans. Now trying to get it near the box. A little bit of contact there, no foul. And here come the Crusaders. Cross, not much going on there. It's knocked away. Crusaders hanging on to possession. And nothing going on there. A little bit of a misstep there for the Trojans. Goes back to NGU. Here come the Crusaders. Alexa Fight trying to hang on to it. I believe she kept it in play.
Come on, Red! You gotta go, Red!
It goes back to Mount Olive. Now back to the Crusaders. NGU finally, the midfield starting to finally reassert the solid first half that they had. It'll be a throw in for North Greenville. And that's Romy Contreras with the shot. And it's going to be wide right. Now we're going to have a number of subs for the Trojans. Ellen Geifus, one of those subs. She was a starter. I believe it was mostly midfielders that were subbed in for the Trojans, so trying to keep those fresh legs on both sides of the ball. That one knocked out of bounds. And tripped up, but easy call there. Alexa Fight with the contact there. She's charged with the foul. Geifus draws it. So a free kick for the Trojans. I believe that's number 25. It's going to be Karen Berry. The left-footed free kick. Nothing going on there. Batted away by the Crusaders. Mount Olive hangs on to it. Baker back with it, and NGU able to keep it in play, but Mount Olive there to recollect it, and then she knocks it out of bounds. So a mistake there by the Trojans. And with just over 15 minutes, NGU going to take possession back over. It's going to be Elaney Sprinkle to throw it in. Goes right back to Mount Olive. Kicked out of bounds. Out of bounds on the Trojans, goes back to the Crusaders. Just a reminder, should Mount Olive score the tying goal, there is no overtime during the regular season. So should time expire with the score tied, that's how it would end. It would be a draw. Only one tie between these two teams. That did go to North Greenville. They tied Lander 1-1 to start the season. Mount Olive has not experienced a tie yet this season. They're 7-3 overall. Whistle blew. Looks like it's going to be a North Greenville sub. Actually, no, they're going to wait.
Red.
And contact there. No foul. Taken away by NGU. Crusaders trying to find the near side of the field, but taken away by Mount Olive again. Plenty of defenders. Mount Olive with the cross. Nothing going there. Trying to find something. And a foul is going to be called. And it's going to go against Mount Olive. I believe that was Ansley Robinson that drew the foul. So it'll be a free kick for the Crusaders. Aubrey Kramer with the free kick. Oh, big time contact there. No foul called. Mount Olive takes possession back, and even head coach, you could hear Andy Robinson on the other side wanting that call. Did not get it. Gonna have a couple subs here for both teams. Actually, just one sub each. Throw in for Mount Olive. Wind has calmed down in this second half. Surprised to see it, but you see in the background, trees not moving very much. Haven't had a chance to look at the radar since this match began, but maybe the men won't have as much weather to deal with as we thought. We were expecting rain around 1 or 2 o'clock. We are just under 10 minutes remaining in this one. Mount Olive still dominating the possession in the second half. Whistle blows, and we can have another sub for the Crusaders. Throw in goes back to Mount Olive. Ansley Robinson holding up strong there, tried to keep it in play, but couldn't. Throw in for the Trojans. And had a look at a shot there, and Samantha Montgomery with the diving stop, excuse me. I don't believe that it would have been in goal had she stopped it, but still. Any chance that you have of putting a stop to that, you'll take it. More contact at midfield, and it is called. So North Greenville will have the free kick. And the clock was stopped. I believe the Trojans might have been saying something on the bench, and that's going to be a yellow card. So a yellow card charged to the Mount Olive bench. Don't know if it was a player on the bench, but when that happens, it doesn't really matter. It's just flat out charged to the bench. So Ian Brophy, head coach for the Trojans, going to be called for the yellow card. So free kick for the Crusaders, knocked away. Both fighting for the ball there, goes back to the Trojans. Out of bounds, stays with Mount Olive. Kicked away. Goes back to Mount Olive, and North Greenville defense continues to hold strong. So we are at the 7-minute mark. Trying to get it to Romy Contreras, but can't do so. Mount Olive has done a great job of limiting Romy Contreras in the second half. She got the goal in the first half. It's turned out to be the only goal thus far. But Mount Olive has definitely done a very good job of keeping it away from her. So we have a throw in for NGU. They'll try to get it to her right now, but instead goes right out of bounds. Got to think the wind might have affected that, even though there hasn't been as much of it in the second half. Six minutes remaining. So now they'll go to work on the near side of the field. They get it to Alexa Fight. Good defense by the Trojans. And it looks like that's going to be a corner kick. looks like actually it's just a throw in. And there's a goal. So all of a sudden, off the throw in, North Greenville adds to the lead.
Crusader goal number 2, Jada Patrick.
So Jada Patrick finds the back of the net to put the Crusaders up 2-0. I believe that was off of the throw-in, which would have been from Elaney Sprinkle, so that makes sense for the two of them to be celebrating.
Hey, let's go, Red. Keep it up, Red. Keep it up, man. Gotta be strong. Gotta be strong, Red. Let's go. Go back to Red. Girl. Girl.
There we go. Graphics are also automated. It took them a little bit to update the score, but finally got that done. So 2-0. Crusaders in position to not only improve their conference record to 7-0, but also to record yet another shutout. It would be North Greenville's 5th consecutive shutout. Got to be frustrating for the Trojans. They have dominated the shot column in the second half, and yet it's North Greenville that was able to add to the lead. As Mount Olive will have another substitution. Jada Patrick scored the goal. The assist was given to Kylie McIlravy. For Mount Olive, Olivia Giuliano came in. Dalia Allwood taken out of the game. Not too late for the Trojans, but obviously they've got to get to work right now.
Come on, Red. Come on, Red.
And I'll be honest, coming into this match, I thought it would be the opposite as the Trojans were able to get a shot off there, another save. Tiana Hill with that shot. But yeah, I'll be honest, I thought it would be the opposite that we would see here today. I thought that the team going to the left side of the field would have the advantage. But that has not really been the case.
Come on, Red. Come on, Red.
They've gotten the majority of the shots off. Throw in by the Trojans. And attempt at a header, couldn't quite get one on it. Mount Olive continues to put up shots, but nothing going. 2 minutes remaining. Collected again by Samantha Montgomery. So the Crusaders just over a minute away from moving up to 7-0 in the conference to take the lead for now in the conference standings. They came in tied with UNC Pembroke with a 6-0 conference record. That one's going to be knocked away. Alexa Fight tried to catch up to that ball to possibly put another nail in the coffin, but couldn't quite do so. Knocked out of bounds. Meanwhile, for Mount Olive, this will be their first conference loss. They'll still hold on to third place in the conference standings. "20 seconds away. See if Mount Olive can put together one last possession and maybe at least get rid of that North Greenville shutout streak, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
9, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2.
And it doesn't get any easier for Mount Olive as their next matchup will be at home against UNC Pembroke. So that will do it. North Greenville with the 2-0 victory. And that is a big win, to say the least. North Greenville's next matchup will be a non-conference matchup at Bob Jones on Monday, October 3rd. And then they will turn around 2 days later and head to Due West, South Carolina to take on the Flying Fleet of Erskine College. So that will do it for the women's game. Be sure to stay tuned for the men's game starting at approximately 1:30. Might start a couple minutes early since this game got over with before 1 o'clock. So on behalf of everybody here at the Conference Carolinas Digital Network, I'm Alan Cahaley. Thank you for tuning into this one. And we will be back in about 20 to 25 minutes to start coverage for the men's game. So we hope to see you then. And we thank you for tuning in.